After the laws of holiness and worship, Leviticus 25 opens one of the most beautiful and hope-filled chapters in all of Scripture. The laws of Sabbath rest in the Year of Jubilee. Here God reveals his heart for renewal, freedom, and restoration. The land, the people, and even creation itself were to experience his rhythm of grace. The Lord spoke to Moses on Mount Sinai, saying, "Speak to the Israelites and say to them, when you enter the land I am giving you, the land itself must observe a Sabbath to the Lord. Just as people were to rest every seventh day, the land was to rest every seventh year. For 6 years they could sow and reap, but in the seventh they were to let the fields lie fallow. No planting, no pruning, no harvesting for profit. Whatever grew naturally would feed the poor, the livestock, and the wild animals." This was more than an agricultural command. It was a spiritual principle. The Sabbath year reminded Israel that the land belonged to God, not them. It taught trust, that God would provide enough in the 6th year to sustain them through the 7th. It was a time to pause, reset, and remember that everything, even the ground beneath their feet, was holy and dependent on his blessing. Then came the second greater cycle, the Year of Jubilee. Count off 7 Sabbath years, 7 times 7 years, so that the 7 Sabbath years amount to 49 years. Then have the trumpet sounded on the 10th day of the 7th month. On the Day of Atonement, sound the trumpet throughout your land. Consecrate the 50th year, and proclaim liberty throughout the land to all its inhabitants. It shall be a jubilee for you. The Jubilee was a year of release and restoration. Every 50 years, debts were canceled, slaves were freed, and land that had been sold returned to its original family. It was a divine reset, a fresh start for everyone. The trumpet of Jubilee echoed through the land as a sound of grace and freedom. It declared that no one would live in bondage forever, that poverty and oppression would not have the final word, and that God alone was the true owner and redeemer of all things. The Lord said, "The land must not be sold permanently because the land is mine, and you reside in my land as foreigners and strangers." This verse captures the essence of Leviticus 25. The people were tenants, not owners. Their identity and inheritance came not from possessions, but from their covenant with God. The land itself was holy, a gift to be stewarded, not exploited. If someone became poor and sold their property, a near relative, a kinsman-redeemer, could buy it back for them. If no relative could redeem it, the land would automatically return to its owner in the Year of Jubilee. This system revealed the compassion and fairness of God's law. It prevented generational poverty, protected family heritage, and ensured that no one could permanently lose their place among God's people. If an Israelite became poor and sold himself into servitude, he was to be treated kindly, not as a slave but as a hired worker. He was to serve until the Year of Jubilee and then be released, free to return to his family and his inheritance. God reminded them, "Because the Israelites are my servants whom I brought out of Egypt, they must not be sold as slaves." Every command in this chapter echoes God's deliverance. He had freed them from Egypt, and therefore they must not enslave one another. The people of a redeeming God must live as a redeeming people. The Jubilee was a picture of grace, equality, and hope. It was a reminder that in God's economy, no life is beyond restoration, no debt too deep to forgive, and no situation too broken to redeem. And once again, every part of this chapter points forward to Jesus Christ. When he began his ministry, Jesus stood in the synagogue of Nazareth and read from Isaiah, "The Spirit of the Lord is upon me, to proclaim good news to the poor, freedom for the captives, recovery of sight to the blind, and to proclaim the year of the Lord's favor." Luke 4:18-19. That phrase, the year of the Lord's favor, was the Jubilee. Jesus declared that he himself is our Jubilee. Through his death and resurrection, he canceled the debt of sin, set the captives free, and restored our lost inheritance. In him every heart finds rest, every life finds renewal, and every soul finds freedom. Leviticus 25 teaches us the rhythm of redemption, that rest and restoration are not luxuries but the heart of God's covenant. The Sabbath reminds us to trust, the Jubilee reminds us to hope. Together they proclaim that all creation belongs to the Lord, and he delights to redeem what has been lost. Next comes Leviticus 26, where God will reveal the blessings of obedience and the consequences of rebellion, showing that the path of holiness leads to life and peace.